You may have heard of next generation science standards, but what exactly does that entail? I'm Christina Salerno. Discover what these new standards are all about and how they're being implemented at one school in Oakland.
Paying for college is a daunting task, but doable with a little foresight and planning. I'm Sarah Gardner. Whether you're the parent of an elementary school child or a high schooler, California has options to help you plan and save for college.
A high school that's opening doors to college for low-income students in San Diego. I'm Jim Finnerty. See why the Preuss School has been named one of the top transformative high schools in the nation 3 years in a row. Plus, we'll show you what it's like to spend a day in the life of a school campus monitor. It's all coming up on Inside California Education.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by, since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $30 billion for our public schools. It's a modest amount after dividing it up to California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through high school, as well as community colleges, UC and CSU campuses. Still, these funds help attract quality teachers, provide classroom equipment, and keep art and music programs alive. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery. Imagine the possibilities. The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education. Additional funding for Inside California Education is made possible by these organizations supporting public education.
Thanks for joining us on Inside California Education. Science education in California is evolving with the adoption of what's known as next generation science standards. It involves students working together in teams, developing hands-on projects, and connecting science experiments to the real world. Let's see how these new standards are playing out at a school in Oakland.
First, we're gonna wrap the wire 6 times around the big nail, and then we gotta connect the ends of the wire to the battery, like that, you see?
These young scientists at Edna Brewer Middle School in Oakland are working on an experiment that did not come from a textbook. Instead, the hypothesis was designed, planned, and executed by the students.
Kids came up with questions like, long nail versus short nail, does that make a more powerful magnet? Does it matter how many times I wrap the wire? What if I use a different battery? How did the batteries compare?
Most teachers, they make up the lesson plan and then we have to follow it. Like we have to copy things down from the board or stuff. But we can make our own experiment, and what we want to find out, we can find out with our knowledge.
Empowering students to design their own science experiments is just one aspect of what's known as the Next Generation Science Standards. The standards were developed by a consortium of 26 states. They were adopted here in California by the State Board of Education in 2013 and are now being rolled out across the state with pilot programs in places like the Oakland Unified School District.
Really, we're working on getting students to do science the way that scientists do it. And I think that's a much more engaging way to learn science. And this also prepares them to have a different skill set than you might have if you only were memorizing the facts of biology, for example.
It's less rote memorization and less fill in the bubbles and multiple choice questions. It is hands-on.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Torlakson is a former science teacher himself and an advocate for the new standards. He says it harkens back to how we taught science in the 1970s.
I did more hands-on learning and labs, more field trips. When we went on backpacking trips, we would talk about clear cutting versus lumber practices that would lead to sustainable forests. We talked about the pollution coming into the delta and the health of the salmon and the bass fisheries.
Like science education of the past, the updated standards teach kids about how humans are impacting the world they live in. Topics like climate change and ocean acidification are blended into the curriculum.
All young people will become adults who will vote and make consumer decisions. So understanding science and what they could do to lessen the carbon load on the atmosphere, what they could do to help preserve our water supply. These are kinds of lessons that the new generation science standards will give our students a chance to understand.
Team captain for each table, please. I want to make sure that you read the question together and you discuss it in your group. And when you get to like, all right, that sounds good, let's all write.
Another thing that's different about this science class, you won't find students hitting the books before a big test.
Our notebook is our textbook, and we don't have a textbook, so our notebook and everything we write in there is sort of our textbook. So this is what we're doing today. This is our investigation plan, and we did this yesterday, and we came up with our question and like the variables that we're changing. And here we have like our vocabulary. So we have like the definition, and then we draw a picture that helps us remember what the word is.
We're moving away from kids sitting in rows. Keep your eyes on your own paper, don't talk to your neighbor. See, it's a collaborative work. That's what Facebook, Google, they have work teams, and that was the skill that they felt students were lacking, was the ability to collaborate and come up with a better product. So we're teaching them that as well.
We can share ideas with the people around us instead of staying quiet and just doing our own thing. It gives us a chance to spread our ideas.
All of these changes come with a learning curve, not just for the students, but also for the science teachers like Jerry Johnstone.
Our thing has been to use these popsicle sticks as an insulator, but I'm trying to engineer too. So we had a problem, I engineered a solution. This is a battery holder. It requires me to be able to do the science too. And sometimes I have to go like investigate some things myself. And it encourages me to keep doing that too. Like building a battery holder from a 3D printer because we were getting our fingers warm.
I think that one of the biggest challenges and opportunities is getting the word out to all of the teachers and giving teachers a chance to be able to have a space where they can experiment with these new standards and think about how their teaching might change.
This is something that teachers are welcoming. Generally speaking, teachers want some support and help with professional development, but it won't be that idea that the teacher reads a chapter in the science book. They won't just be reading a chapter and then lecturing to the students and asking the students to take notes.
It takes me a long time to grade their work because it's not circles on a piece of paper where I can look at a thing. They're writing down their ideas.
And while the new science standards have been controversial in other parts of the country, particularly because of what they say about climate change, Superintendent Torlakson says there's been strong support in California.
The news here is that we had local input. We welcomed it. And it wasn't a partisan football, it wasn't about politics, it was what's best for our students. So they'll have the skill set when they get out of high school to be ready to go into a career path right away or to go to college and then get into a career path. They'll have that skill set.
The next generation science standards have a three-dimensional learning approach. The first, called Practices, focuses on how scientists and engineers work in the real world. The second, Cross-Cutting Concepts, helps students view their surroundings through a scientific lens. The third, Core Ideas, is the curriculum that should be taught in the science classroom.
It's no secret that college costs are on the rise, with in-state tuition in California tripling over the past 20 years. While some families may opt to wait until their child is in high school to sort out financial aid and loans, other parents are starting to plan for college early, really early.
Would you like to go to college one day?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what you would be interested in studying?
Reading.
Bronwyn Lee has already begun putting money away for her 3 children's college educations.
So we can get a measurement. Taking measurements. So we started a small, modest 529 account for each of our children before they learned to walk. And it was like $25 for each kid. It felt like grocery money, and it doesn't feel like a lot over the course of the year, but little bits faithfully given over time turn into something that make a difference. I mean, my husband and I were able to go to college, and we feel very blessed to have had that opportunity.
Lee saves for her children's college through California's scholarship program. Established in 1997, ScholarShare is California's version of a 529 college savings plan. Parents or family members can open an account with as little as $25. Earnings are tax-deferred, and withdrawals are tax-free, as long as the money is used for qualifying educational costs. That includes tuition, books, and room and board.
I love books.
To have tax-protected monies that you can put aside, because I guess the state and the government are valuing education. They're partnering with us by these incentives to help us educate our children in the long run.
There are more than 270,000 open ScholarShare accounts in California, about $6.9 billion invested. Account holders have an average of $22,000 saved for college, about double what the average American family has set aside for college. But just because 529 accounts are a means for college savings doesn't mean investments will always grow. During the Great Recession, 529 savings accounts across the United States lost about 20% in value, falling from $113 billion in 2007 to $90 billion in 2008. ScholarShare is trying to limit risks by offering 19 different investment options.
One of the things that investors in the program do have is a lot of choice and flexibility, because they can also change that investment option a couple times a year.
While 529 accounts are a popular choice for families who are saving early, other families may not think about college costs until their child is in high school. Students just a year or two away from college often attend events like this one to learn about applying for scholarships, loans, and grants.
I'm here today for help on my financial aid and just to know about more resources.
Michelle is attending a Steps to College fair at the Mexican Consulate in Sacramento. The fair offers financial aid and college admissions workshops for students and parents.
Fácil, agradable, cómoda, con mucha información.
Michelle is the first in her family to go to college. She plans to transfer from a two-year college to Sacramento State to study nursing.
I know that becoming a nurse can give my family the stability that we once had, just being able to get to where I want to be and help people.
While the college fair was geared towards seniors and college students, sophomores and juniors also came out to get a head start on the college application process.
We've learned a lot of things so far since we came here. We're just excited to learn more.
Inkumar is a junior at West Campus High School in Sacramento. Inkumar knows where he wants to be and has a plan to get there, with his mom's help, of course.
I want to study possibly neuroscience, maybe. Like, she's recommending that I do that, but I'm kind of leaning towards biology, maybe biological science.
As students and parents determine what works best for them and their budgets, college administrators are working to make higher education more affordable.
There you go.
Thank you.
Now definitely Sac State.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Dr. Robert Nelson is the president of Sacramento State University, where tuition has not increased in 6 years. How have they been able to do it? Reduce spending on everything from maintenance to full-time faculty members.
It's been difficult. Let's just be honest about that. Costs have gone up for everything, from cement to build new buildings, to food, to electricity and the like. We've tried to cut costs in every way that we could to be able to help our students.
While the price of college may give families pause, California wants to make sure cost doesn't stop anyone from getting an education.
California is one of the most generous, most progressive states in the nation with regards to their not only $2 billion in financial aid, but also their ability to award that same sort of grant funding to dreamers. So students that are undocumented but are here in this country and have been in this country since they were quite young.
Qualified students in California can apply for what's known as Cal Grants. It's money that students do not have to pay back.
The number one student misconception is, I won't be eligible. What you need to know is one clear thing. There is state aid.
Every university has scholarships. The students need to apply for those scholarships and aim high, aim where you want to go.
Soy el presidente de Sacramento State.
But find a college that you love, that's most important.
When the catalogs arrive and you can sign your child up for this and sign your child up for that and sign your child up for whatever, and they all look so great, and we're afraid that if we don't take every opportunity, our kids are going to be missing out. It helps to just take a deep breath and say, okay, we have a long time with these kids. Let's make good choices with the money that we've got now so that it'll last.
The first scholarship in the United States was actually created by a foreigner. 3 Massachusetts ministers crossed the pond to England in 1641 to raise money for Harvard University. There they came across Lady Anne Radcliffe Molson, who agreed to bequeath 100 pounds for, quote, the maintenance of some poor scholar. Radcliffe College was named in her honor more than 2 centuries later.
Still ahead on Inside California Education, a San Diego charter school where close to 100% of its graduates are college-bound. But first, we'll show you a day in the life of a campus monitor.
There's a fine line. You have to be able to go out there and communicate with the students. Trying to finish up the year, have a good one, huh? I mean it. But then at the same time, you have to hold the line. Come here. And hold them accountable. My name is Marvin Lisberger. I work for Folsom Cordova Unified School District as a lead campus monitor for Folsom High School for the past 17 years. I'm one of the first to get to the school. I drive around the campus and patrol the grounds. 3 or 4 stalls, broken glass on the ground. And the hallways, check bathrooms, and just provide a safe atmosphere for the students and the staff so the staff can focus on actually teaching and the students can focus on their education. It's my responsibility to oversee on how we're going to divide up this campus. It's a huge campus. We have 65 acres of land here, so we divide this out equally for passing periods. Let's face it, there's 2,400 students here at our school, so there's a lot of activity. And I think by us being out on the grounds and us being the eyes and the ears of the campus, just our presence alone, I feel, helps a lot on avoiding situations from happening before they happen. All right, take care. As far as being a campus monitor, you have to be available to the kids. That's such a vital piece of it. Yeah, you got it. Really what they want is the students are looking for respect, and they also want to be heard. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So good.
Good.
So if somebody's having a tough day and they do something wrong, instead of coming down hard on them and yelling at them or anything like that, it's really about taking the time to maybe dig deeper to find out what's actually going on in their lives. So you're going to go to San Jose?
San Jose.
They're like my own kids. This is family here. I truly view them as my own family.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, but I'm a campus monitor and I provide safety first, but really what I'm doing is I'm teaching them about life itself and how to transition from that high school level out into the big world. I'm so blessed to be part of the Folsom High School family here. Between our staff, our teachers, our admin team, the classified employees, it is a team, and it takes a team to make this work.
It's an ongoing challenge in California and all across the country to find ways to level the playing field so that more low-income public school students can get into college. Well, we found a unique school in San Diego that's right on a UC campus, and it's designed for families hoping to send their very first high school graduate onto a higher education.
It's just an awesome school. It gives you so many tools. It gives you everything you need to have the greatest education.
It's not easy for Yesenia Valdelmar and her daughters to drive more than an hour each way from home to the Preuss School. But they say it's a sacrifice well worth it. Not only are 9th grader Christina and 11th grader Estella on a college fast track, their older brother, another Preuss graduate, is already attending UC Merced, all part of this family's first generation to attend college.
You're determined, and if you got heart and you want to succeed, this would be the place. They give you everything you need.
Preuss and the opportunities that they give us, even though they may seem like they may not be useful in the present, they do come in handy like towards your future.
That goal of a better future is shared by many of these 850 6th through 12th grade students at Preuss. Every one of them is chosen by lottery and comes from a low-income family around the greater San Diego area. Each may travel up to 2 hours each way from their homes to this charter school right on the UC San Diego campus. Founded in 1999, Preuss has been widely acknowledged as one of the nation's best college prep public schools, including recognition by Newsweek magazine as America's top transformative school 3 years in a row.
I think that's what really keeps me here, is to see that that we're making a difference and allowing these these students to change their lives.
So you guys are all part of one scene? Yeah.
Principal Scott Barton says each year between 95 and 100% of their graduates are accepted to four-year colleges and universities, far more than the 35% statewide average acceptance rate for other California public schools. Barton credits many things, including dedicated teachers and parents and highly motivated students. But he says there are other reasons.
The biggest thing that we have is a longer school year. Preuss school students go to school for 198 days a year, and most schools, most children in California go to school for about 180 days.
The additional cost for those extra days is largely covered through charitable donations. Besides a longer school year, students at Preuss have longer school days, taking 8 classes rather than the usual 7. Over a 7-year school career, that's almost an extra full year of instruction, including a generous offering of advanced placement classes.
Everybody at the Preuss school takes the same level classes. If we have an advanced placement class, all students take it. If we have a regular level class, all students take that. The important part is providing the right supports for each student to see that they're going to be successful.
That's it. Preuss is sort of a place where I feel like it can do the most work and get the most bang for my buck for kids who really, really want it and need it and deserve it.
We're dealing with adolescents who come to us with so many different backgrounds, needs, talents, and skills. So we kind of look at our school not only providing comprehensive academic access, but sort of this wraparound support.
As a young kid, I always challenged myself to go to the fullest extent as I possibly could. So I saw Preuss as a challenge to go for it, full 100%. Every teacher here is just on your side and is ready to back you up in any problems that you're facing in life.
What sport do you have after school today? Oh, soccer.
The Preuss School also benefits from extensive community and collegiate support. There are more than 75 mentors from local businesses who work extensively with individual students, and more than 100 tutors ranging from UC San Diego students to retired professionals, like former aerospace engineer Andy Octakirken.
It's a number, right? It's 2.7.
Andy's helping Ronald Moreno with his calculus assignment.
I realized that I was fortunate that I came from a family with parents, both college graduates. So I feel it's important to help people who need help. And many of these students have a lot of ability, but they need some extra help to succeed.
Thanks to a special fund, graduates from this and 2 other local schools who are accepted to UC San Diego receive full scholarships. But some getting ready to graduate look beyond sunny San Diego.
I've applied to a total of 13 or 14 schools. I got accepted to all of CSU. My UCs were UC San Diego, UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC Irvine.
Senior Yoreli Cervantes is also helping her brother, 6th grader Fernando, get off to the right start.
He might not see it now because he's a little on the young side, but once you start getting into all the good stuff at Preuss and all the college applications, all the scholarships, all the summer programs, you realize that you're here for a reason and it's worth it.
Those involved with the Preuss school concede that theirs is not a model all public schools could fully emulate. But their wish is that other schools someday receive the same level of parental commitment, as well as strong partnerships with their own business and academic communities.
You imagine if all universities had a requirement for their undergraduates to volunteer at a public school. We all need to be providing support for K-12 education. It's not just teachers and administrators and parents. It's the entire community.
For me, that's probably the #1 goal, is to get a kid to realize that I can do this. you realize that this is a really important place to be at.
We literally are talking about the future of our community, our nation, our world, the quality of humans and what we do. It's the most powerful thing.
That's going to do it for this edition of Inside California Education. Now, if you'd like more information about the program, just log on to our website, insidecaled.org. We have video from all of our shows, and you can connect with us on social media as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Inside California Education.
We got to connect the ends of the wire to the battery, like that, you see?
Team captain for each table, please.
Do you have any idea what you would be interested in studying?
Reading.
I want to study possibly neuroscience, maybe. Like, she's recommending that I do that.
There, so you guys are all part of one scene? Yeah. Any help with number B?
Yes.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by, since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $30 billion for our public schools. It's a modest amount after dividing it up to California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through high school, as well as community colleges, UC and CSU campuses. Still, these funds help attract quality teachers, provide classroom equipment, and keep art and music programs alive. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery. Imagine the possibilities. The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education. Additional funding for Inside California Education is made possible by these organizations supporting public education.